but
Welcome to another episode of Kara Dangerous Talk. I'm excited about this guest right here. Viral TikTok sensation, plus a banging artist, an artist that you all should know if you don't know already. Let me introduce you to BMW Kenny. How you doing, brother?
Appreciate y'all. I'm doing good.
Yes, look, BMW Kenny, 15 billion plus TikTok views, 10 million plus Spotify streams, 2.8 million TikTok videos created off of your viral hit, hashtag wipe it down challenge, 830K YouTube plus views. Man, you are killing it. How does it look? First of all, how does it feel to have had a viral TikTok hit? Because this is where it is today. It's all about the TikTok.
Yeah. Now looking back on it, it's more like a dream for real. It's like it don't seem real. It just seems like everybody in the world listening to your song, and it's special.
Wipe, wipe, wipe. But you know what? That song, it was so catchy, to wipe it down, which made you go viral on TikTok. But the most impressive thing about this is, I mean, the song, what was the song? 90 seconds long?
Yeah, about a minute and a half. Yeah.
Yes. So not a long song, but it caught the attention of not just, everyday TikTokers, but some big people, some big stars. And the first star I want to say is Jason Derulo. When he gets a hold to a challenge, you know that it has went viral. Wipe, 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 wipe it down. When you saw Jason Derulo, Derulo,
Jason Derulo.
the Rulo.
Can't
But
forget
look,
that.
that's not even the most impressive thing. What about Will Smith? That's what I'm talking about. Mr. Will Smith. Now
Yeah.
you have touched the masses when Will Smith grabs a hold of it. What were you thinking when you saw these two megastars jump on your challenge?
Um, One being in the game for for the amount of time I've been in it, I've never seen any artist I've worked with have a song go as viral as that. Like just far as everyone just doing their own challenge and doing their own transition video to it. I haven't just seen a song that I've done for other artists that has done as much as my song, and that's coming from an independent artist standpoint. No label pushing me, no big budget. We was broke. I was broke when I put that song out.
And the reason I like your story is because it's a story of triumph and struggle, and you just kept pushing through, and we're going to touch on that in this interview. I want to just take it back a little bit, because we're talking about some of your successes, but that's really not how it started. It's kind of crazy because you were doing well behind the scenes. I mean, you were helped co-writing with Ray Sherman on their projects, and even Justin Bieber. I mean, when I just say those names, a person would feel like you've made it. But I hear that you were still struggling to get on in the industry, and maybe you were lacking some confidence. And this is a story that people need to hear, because you can be living what people assume is success, but for yourself, you still aren't where you want to be. So take us back to that moment, Kenny, when you're around these very successful people, you're in the midst of them, but you're still not exactly where you want to be. What was going on in your mind around those times?
Irresponsibility. I blame some of it on me. Honestly, most of it on me. When I take one accountability type vibes, but I feel like my most complaint about the music industry is money, and was money.
Yes.
I haven't been in the industry like that in a while, but money was the problem. But it wasn't the money. Even though the money comes when it wants to, it doesn't really have a time when they want to pay you, and you don't know when projects are going to drop. So you'll be waiting on a song that you helped out on, or at least an advance or a check for a long time. and bills just be coming, and it just wasn't adding up. But I also felt like financial literacy is not a thing that's taught a lot with
Mhm.
producers, artists, writers. When they start getting these checks, it's not like let's go change my life and go buy a car, buy this, that. Like we should, I didn't have that money management in my head, so that kind of like dampened my creativity a little bit.
Mhm.
But I think at that time, man, I was just hustling, trying to get more money, and I felt like the road was narrowing a little bit. Like it was. I had the whole street, and then I felt like at one point it wasn't too many options, too many labels I could shop music to. I wasn't on nobody's radar, and that's what kind of like, I guess, the pressure that kind of built me as an artist. Um,
Is it true
but
that when you were on the road with, was it Jeremiah, who could sing really well? He had a really serious bout with COVID. That you said that he was one of the first people to just really believe in you.
yeah, Jeremiah, like, funny. I was on tour with him,
Mhm.
and I think it was in 2018, and we
Mhm.
went to Europe. We went to like 30 countries, and for about 6 to 10 of those dates, I opened up for him as an artist. And this is before I even got a chance to really hone in on what I wanted to be. It was just me. Just he knew I had songs, and he needed. Why not? I could open it
Mhm.
up, warm up the crowd for him. They had local artists warming up the crowd too, but they still needed extra, like an extra slot. So I would take the slot some nights. That right there gave me confidence to perform my
Mhm.
songs. And Jeremiah, actually, I'm surprised that I was out there to help work on his European mixtape. He did a Late Nights Europe mixtape, and
Mhm.
I was out there to work on that. But he ended up letting me open up for him. So that's what kind of gave me a little bug of like, okay, I can do this artist, shit. I got a big artist that's signed that's already kind of co-signing me.
Mhm.
I had a bad show though, and I quit music. I quit making music as an artist, and I went back to like behind the scenes because I just like lost confidence.
Just
And then
wait. So it was just literally one show that was bad, or was it several shows you thought were bad?
it was
I'm
a
just trying to.
one show. It was
So
one show.
you had to really just get into your head. Is that what happened to you? Like why
I
did
said
why?
like this. When you got a bad show, when the DJ like make some noise, get up for BMW Kenny. My name wasn't that. It was like I rap at the time or something like that.
Yes.
And nobody, not too many people clap and scream. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like no, they ain't even saying no encore. They like, nigga, leave, bye,
Oh man.
bring Jeremiah out. Like,
Uh,
what happened was, okay, I'm gonna give a little secret too.
okay.
This ain't really like supposed to be said, but in 2017, I feel like I was a pioneer of something that's used today, and a lot
Mhm.
of people don't want to give me my credit, but it's cool. Because and maybe other artists have used this, but they haven't. It's been a secret. Me, I knew it.
Yeah.
I just figured it out. I said, "Yo, I seen Jeremiah have a show in Las Vegas at Dre's, and I'm talking about it sounding bad, man. Like something wasn't right. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?" And I'm like, "Yo, Jay," and it was probably his last bad show because I said, "Jay, man, you should let me put my laptop on, bring my laptop with me, and um have your soundboard system, your microphone, run through my Pro Tools, and
Mhm.
then we're gonna run it out into the board into the stadium. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
when you sing your vocals, you got like auto tune, you got effects on you, like you
Yep.
sounding like you in the studio.
Run it
You know
on
what I'm
through the
saying? Like I
mixer,
said, let's
baby.
try it out. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
And I tried it out, we practiced it, rehearsal, sounded amazing. Then we went on tour. I helped him out with the tour, helped him out, as I was producing the album on tour, I would be behind the stage and put some auto tune on them. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And that would be my little secret sauce. They would call me the sauce because I would just be chilling, smoking my blunt, uh, and just, acting like I'm in the studio. Just putting auto tune per song. I knew had a list of what song to change each key to. So literally now today I see this with a lot of artists, and one artist in particular, we was in London, and Ty Dolla Signs was coming out on stage for his song with Jeremiah. He got a song with Jeremiah, and uh he got the mic. I hit him on the shoulder. I said, "Bro, go crazy." He said, "What
Mm-hmm.
you mean?" I said, "Oh, nigga, you can sing. Sing whatever notes you want. You're gonna be in key. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't worry about it. Like, don't feel confident to go crazy with the crowd." Like, he was like, "For real?" I was like, "Yeah," because I had it on Jeremiah the whole tour. You know, so um, the thing
It's
is,
yeah.
he sung it, and the show was, I'm talking about, one of the biggest audiences, sea of people. I couldn't believe how good they both sounded. And like maybe a few months later, I had a New Year's Eve like party I went to, and Ty Dolla Signs was performing, and he had auto tune on his voice. He had someone doing this auto tune, but he had it doing, somebody was doing it so wrong. He sounded like T Pain. He sounded like T Pain the whole
Oh
time.
no.
And I had got it to a science where like when you stop, I'm giving too much gas. When you stop talking, when you start talking, when a person start talking, the auto tune go off. So I can tell Ty Dolla Sign auto tune was still on because he was talking regular and it still was an auto tune. He talking in auto tune. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nigga, it's supposed to be a secret. It's supposed to be sauce. You're supposed to just put it on when you
Secret
singing.
sauce.
Yeah, if you don't know the sauce, you just leave it on. You saying, "How you doing out there?" And it's, "How you doing out there?" Like it's, bruh, turn off the auto tune. You know what I'm saying?
It's
But
funny because you kind of remind me a little bit of Ty Dolla Sign. Have you thought about that yourself?
me and him's cool. We done work records together.
Mhm.
It's been a lot of things. Well, with that. So to come with that, long story short, that sauce was what Jeremiah had, and when it was time for me to perform, I had no sauce. You know what I'm saying? I had nobody that was looking out for me.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So I felt like I started getting frustrated. I was like, man, he got this whole team around him. I'm here by myself, pretty much supporting my goals, and no one here to help me out. Like, I don't even want to do this artist shit until I got a real team or people behind me to push me, because I'm gonna fail like this. Because I had someone help me out with my auto tune one show on a song, and I'm talking about he had the wrong auto tune settings, and I sung the whole concert off key,
I'm mad the whole time up there. I
the
know.
whole show off key. I
Yeah.
wanted to throw the mic to the crowd and scream.
You want to
And when
dress up as this guy and hurt somebody. I know
man,
you
and when the
do.
crowd didn't say nothing, when they were like, "Give it up for you know what I'm saying? Give it up for me," and the crowd didn't say nothing, like crickets and couple claps, I was like, I quit. I quit, bro. This ain't for me. And I was like, I fell back on the producing, songwriting. I got back into that,
So
start
well,
DJing.
wait, well, what did that teach you about how you dealt with people? Because like you said, you had other people's back, but then when it came to you, you felt like, nobody was around. Did you start dealing with people in a different way?
It definitely built more of a hardcore around me, as far as, okay, you got to do, you can't worry, you can't focus on people to help you. You got to kind of like, you know, boss up, show them
Mhm.
something that's worth, like, people will come when it's worth it. So I felt like me opening up here and there wasn't really worth anyone's time to invest. But next time when I got my own
Mhm.
team and my own, I feel like I got so much experience from being on tour. That was a beautiful thing, because I got the experience of being on tour and like seeing all the things to do and what not to do, and just things that artists mess up on, things that production messes up on. There's a lot of things I learned from that. So
A big piece of this is that mentorship is very important, and a lot of people don't get it nowadays. But brother, even though you were struggling, you had still some good people helping you. Tricky
yeah,
Stewart, who works with Rihanna and Beyonce, he took you to an island and he gave you advice. Is this a true legit story? Because
yeah,
like
he flew
you
me out
had
to Turks and Caicos. He flew
uh,
me out to Turks and Caicos, man.
so
Actually,
look now, you
that's
having
not
a
even the
bad
first
time,
time.
but you being flued out, and you getting
Okay,
advice from
yeah.
somebody that got a lot of information to give. What did you take from that? Like, did that help get you back on the right track?
Shout out to Tricky Stewart. I'm gonna say it like this: Tricky Stewart was the first person. I was I worked with Usher too. I was around Usher a lot, but Tricky Stewart was the first person that showed me from behind the scenes you could be a producer songwriter and
Mm-hmm.
live like a professional athlete. You know, like I didn't see too many music people living lavish, living balling off of
Mm-hmm.
music. Like I've seen people ball off of drugs, seen people ball
Mm-hmm.
off of scamming, seen people be athletes or stuff like that, but never seen someone strictly he plays the piano and he stays in the studio, smokes weed, and just
Do his
fights,
thing,
you
yeah.
know, it's girls everywhere and everything. This is what he's a star in his own right, and he gets millions of dollars. That right there blew my mind away because I was doing it, but I wasn't making a good living at the time. I was had a couple placements here and there, but Tricky, when he flew me out to Vegas, they flew me out to Vegas for Dream. He was finishing up Love vs. Money album or something like that. The song that had Fancy, the album that had Fancy on it,
Mm-hmm.
I seen that happen live. Like I seen that happen with my own eyes. Seen them working on Fancy, and I was like, they in Vegas in the Palms Hotel, in the studio in the Palms Hotel, in a casino. They got a
Mm-hmm.
studio. They in a this is like the central of Sin City, and they in a
Oh,
studio working on his album
it's
in one of the
crazy.
most funnest hotels in Vegas at the time. They had the Playboy Suites and all that. They were doing that every night. So it was
Mm.
like to see all that and see, oh, these guys is not like they don't play in the NBA. Like they not like because I
Right.
only knew NBA players that had that kind of money, and to see them like just having fun like that let me knew that yo, I went back home to Atlanta after
Mm-hmm.
that trip and turned into a monster. I turned into a songwriter and producer and monster.
And that's another thing I want to know because you were born in Wisconsin, but you spent most of your life in Decatur, Georgia. Shouts out to Georgia. I'm from Georgia too, GA, where we stay. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You
yeah,
know, that Mac Town, shouts out.
already.
Yeah. So you lived in Cali, you lived in Miami, you lived in Atlanta. What did tell me a little bit about the hustles of those places? What did you take from those places? Because you kind of just hit on it a little bit with Atlanta. But what about California and Miami? What did that teach you living there and what you had to learn how to hustle?
Hustle is you gotta keep moving, can't stay stagnant. Um, Miami ain't. I haven't really hustled in. Well, I have hustled networking wise. LA is
Mhm.
networking. You learn how to, say yes to things you normally would say no to. That's what my biggest lesson in LA. I
Oh,
found.
that
I
sounds
read
like some stories right there.
the secret. The secret. Me. I learned about the secret book in LA.
Mm,
That's what like opened my mind. I learned how to be a vegan,
mm,
plants. That's helped me out tremendously. Like stay longevity and just be young and youthful. You know what I'm saying? So
mhm.
I've learned certain things from LA. Music wise, hustle wise, I always had that. Like I've always been a hustler. Like since Atlanta, Georgia, when I first started, and I was hanging around cats way older than me and just figuring out the game. I've always been like tune with the money and
Mhm.
figuring out where's the market at. Okay, cool. Atlanta's cool. Okay, market's moving to LA. Boom, we moving to LA. Boom. Oh, LA's dead. COVID pandemic. All right, boom. Miami's lit. Boom, we going to Miami. And that's kind of always how I've been. Like I go with the tides. I don't even let a city just like keep me there. I go whenever the city is good, and when the vibe leaves, I'm gone. You know what I'm
I
saying?
heard that.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta get your opinion on something because another R&B major hitter, Neo, was recently on Drink Champs, and because you were a viral TikTok sensation, let's say you garnered a lot of success from that. He said that it's some great artists that you can find on TikTok, right? But when you go and you try to search for them off of the app and you listen to the full song because normally on TikTok the song is short, right? They cut
Yeah.
the best part of the song. He said the artists just aren't as interesting as you think, or the song isn't as good. Do you agree with Neo's statement, or do you think that his perspective is wrong or incorrect?
Big facts.
Big facts.
I think it's big facts. I honestly, when I did my song, I knew it was trash. Not trash in that
About to say
sense,
you got to be
but
careful now because I mean, come on, a billion.
okay.
What the
Tricky,
stats
my
at?
mentor. I had a mentor. Thank God. My mentor told me your corniest track. is gonna pay you the most. You know,
Really?
yeah, the track that's the most you loved with all your heart and that's so musical and that's going through changes and taking people places, that shit
Hmm.
ain't gonna get no streams.
Hmm.
It's the corny, simple, up tempo dance records. And he told me this when I was making R&B, pop, little bit of hip hop, but when I was staying away from hip hop, because at the time R&B pop I felt like was what I wanted to do.
Hmm.
And I felt like I was bringing rugged R&B to pop at the time. So he telling me that's cool, that slow stuff is cool, but bro, like you said, you gonna make more money. Your weakest fat up tempo track is gonna make more money than your best slow track. And I was like,
Hmm.
damn. So a couple years later, it kind of applied to me. I was like, man, I'm making all this. I feel like upper echelon hip hop music, but I had to dumb it down to go viral, and it was an experiment, and it worked. So it's like I'm battling with that right now. Do I want to dumb down my sound again to blow up? You know what I'm saying? Or do I want to be real and be an artist who can give you some real stuff that you can go through and apply to life? You know what I mean?
I'm glad you said that because that is the fight. You know, when you're a real artist and you're writing and you're performing, and then you see that the people kind of they're just attracted to the music. I mean, I guess they just like catchy stuff. And like you said, when you write the deep stuff, it's like nobody's they like it, but they're not like it's not being played over and over and over and over and over and over and over again.
And I
So
got ridiculed. I got ridiculed for that song. Like some people thought is he serious? Like, is this serious? And then it go viral. Of course, yeah, I make the money, but still people are saying like it's only this hook. That's the song is trash. I only like the hook. And
mhm,
to go back to what Neil's saying, it's the truth. Sometimes you get. I even told my friends like, bro, I'm not even caring about the song no more. Like, I just
mhm.
want to get the most catchiest 15 seconds of the. You know what I'm saying? The most catchiest 15 seconds is all you need. Like, you don't need the song to be trash.
Well, see,
If you got a good catchy 15 seconds, you lit.
that's where it kind of gets tricky though, BMW, because in your mind right now, right, you still keep it in the back of your mind like I want to be this serious artist and not just put out music that's gonna be catchy and just go viral. I want to put out stuff that's from my heart. But see, if you keep getting these hits, then you may just turn to this person that just want to make music that just catchy, and you stop making music that you really want to make. Are you fearful of that at all? Because that's
That's
something that I
every
would be
artist.
thinking about.
Not to cut you off, but I feel like that's every artist's fear. Like to make a song that goes so successful that now you have to make those type songs. You
Mhm.
know, they typecast you or song cast you, whatever. They want to put you in this kind of bubble where, okay, make us dance. You made us
Mhm.
dance before. Keep making us dance. We don't
Right.
want to. We don't want to. We don't want to feel this right now. We want to dance. If you ain't making us dance, we're gonna go to somebody else that's gonna make us dance. Because right now, we want to dance. And you know, that's something I got to battle with and say, yo, if you're gonna be a professional entertainer, you gonna make them dance or you gonna give them what you want. And at the end of the day, that's the battle where you got to figure out, yo, do I give the fans what they want or
Mhm.
do I, give them what I want? And you can't win. You can't have either or.
Who was the
Unless you
brain?
at that perfect moment where you like big and like, yo, I'm giving them what I want, and they loving it, they eating it all up.
They'll take anything from you then. So, who was the brainchild behind the way that you kind of did the whole wipe it down situation? Because, it's people out here that want to catch a wave, and I know you were trying to just see what works. But I know you came up with this whole thing where you offered people money to do the challenge.
Yeah,
So, how did you kind of come up with that to kind of get yourself out there like that?
Mamba mentality, man. I just say Mamba mentality. I put the song out, or I did this song at my crib. I think the reason was because I was copying a great, and
Hmm.
that's what Kanye said. He always said, "You want to be the great, copy the greats." You steal a little bit from the greats. So me being in the industry, knowing that, yo, if you want to actually make a record for the radio, I was using TikTok as the new radio. You got to
Hmm.
study the charts. You got to study how I used to be in the industry. Like the executives, you study the top 10, 20 records it's going right now, and you saying, what can I do to fit in that? or what can I do to, so I'm looking at the top 10 records in TikTok, and I'm watching just trends and watching how people gravitate to these little 15, 30 second videos. And I'm like, all right, that's why my song's so short, because I felt like there was no need to go past a minute really. If I'm just really aiming for TikTok, you know what I mean? So that's why the song's so short, because it's like my mind was already set on this is gonna be strictly a format for TikTok. We don't need no long songs. The attention span is very short, and they need a song that's catchy, dumb, that can remember. And everything was going down at a time where it was like, okay, boom, I had a challenge in my hand, and it was in my phone, and I'm like, all right, she wiping the mirrors. It's pretty dope. I didn't think it was going to really get to the point where it got to, but I thought it was something I never saw before. So I'm like, man, even if people can't do it as good as her, they're going to try. Let's do a challenge. I told the influencer, Leanne B, I told her, I said, let's make this a challenge where we both give away money. We both give away $1,000. So make it look like we both put the money in, or you giving people, your fans, a prize. I don't got really fans like that yet, but it's something that you can give to your fans, but I'm paid for it. So you can do a Leanne V giveaway, and we gonna put it in your name, but I'm gonna sponsor it. You know what I'm saying?
At what
So
point did you know that it was taking off?
probably like after the second week, after yeah, I was scared that I thought the challenge should last for 2 weeks, and Leanne told me, nah, a week. Don't let it go too long, because people gonna get tired of it. Like, let it go a week. And then I gave the money out. It was salty because I was like, damn, man, it didn't blow up the way I wanted it to. And then maybe like 4 days later, I checked TikTok again, and the video had like, it was like at 700, no, it was at 400 videos when the challenge ended. So I gave $1,000 away, 400 videos in. You know what I mean? Thinking like, damn, like it's better than zero videos, but
Right,
400. I'm
right,
like, okay,
right.
this ain't nothing. Like, I just gave $1,000 away. And 4 days later, that it was 400, and then 700, and then 1100, and then 1600, and then it just kept duplicating. And it was next day it was 10,000, and then 20,000, 30. I was like, oh my god! Like, I'm looking at my people like, yo, is this really happening? Like, it's going crazy. And
Right.
then
Just when you was
celebrities
about to
start
give
getting
up
it.
hope, just when you was about to let yourself say, "Oh, this ain't working," it bounced back in your favor. Look at that.
Yeah, because I sold my catalog. I wanted to sell my catalog and retire, and like was gonna go to Miami and just live close to my daughter and just get into real estate and do some shit like that, because I felt like music wasn't had no more love for me. I don't know what was going on, but that song was a lifesaver for me, a career saver for me, because it made me get back in the studio, and it made me like, Ha Ha was a song that I made after Wipe It Down, and Ha Ha kind of got me in the situation I'm in now. So it all stemmed from this one little event that happened when I felt like I had to make my own music, and it blew up. You know what I
Well,
mean?
what did
So
this teach you about perseverance? Because, like you said, you wanted to give up at times, but if you could have just, if this is a message I want people to get, sometimes you just got to hold on. And we
yeah,
don't like to use the word patience, but if you would have gave up, you would have never gave yourself time. You would have never gave God time. You would have never gave the
hmm
universe time to put these little nuggets in your
yep,
way, those ram in the bushes. So, are you looking at perseverance in a different way? Are you saying to yourself, sometimes when I think it's the end, let me just try to step back and look at it a different way?
yeah. Perseverance to me, I think the will, you have to have a purpose, too. And if you don't have a purpose of what you're doing, you can find yourself like giving up a little bit easier. When you got a purpose and a goal, it's hard to give up on. And I had lost my purpose at one point, because I felt like being a producer songwriter wasn't fulfilling. It wasn't making, I wasn't getting the credits I wanted. I wasn't getting the money I wanted. I wasn't living like Tricky Stewart, and I didn't get to that, baller athlete lifestyle off of music. And I felt like, damn, I got to the bottom of the hill again. I got to go back up. And sometimes, man, perseverance is just about like, yo, if you got your own studio, which is I suggest everybody do, get your own studio set up. Even when the moments when you're not feeling motivated and you feel like you ain't got, at least you got the studio and you can always make another hit. You can save your life. But if you ain't got no studio and you cold and nobody want to mess with you, it's hard to get in the studio. That studio be booked. It be cheap. It be expensive. It get way more
Yeah.
expensive when you not hot. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yes,
the
it
prices
does.
go up. Everything like damn. Everybody just boosted the prices. The studio booked. I'm telling you, you got your own studio. When you cold and can't no one kick you out. Can't no one tell you to go home. You can figure it out. And that's what I did. It gave me the perseverance to just keep going and not worrying about if people not feeling me. At least I got my own studio. I can make my own hits. You know what I'm saying?
What I really like about your music and your album, Kenny, is that, and I'm really being honest when I say this, you get a little bit of everything. You hear so many influences. I mean, I hear a little bit of California in there. I hear a little bit of rock. I hear a little bit of pop. I hear a little bit of hip hop. It's all mixed in. It's really something for everybody. And the sound is new, but it definitely has touches of the old school in there.
Right now, the album is not out yet. This album was really to show the how diverse my style is.
Mm-hmm.
One, yeah, I'm a rapper, but I have a lot of melody. Um, I come from a melody background too, as well. So
Mm-hmm.
what I wanted to do with that project was display melodies a little bit more and get the ladies, because my
Mm-hmm.
lady fan base had died a little bit. So I was just trying to get a little bit more of the ladies. They like the singing vibe of me, and I'm like, all right, let me just release these songs. Hit them with a little bit. I released with ops, teased them with the ops. Now it's like, okay, I
Mm-hmm.
want to tease them with the next record, and that's You Gave Your Word. And that's coming out like sooner than soon. And
Mm-hmm.
I want people to just indulge in that. I'm gonna bring the project back out, but I want people to just focus in on the songs, because I feel like if you don't promote and market your music the right way, it's not gonna get out to the right people. So Kenny album is not out yet. It's on the way. So you
It's
can
on
talk
the
about
way.
like Kenny album on the way.
Okay. Look, Kenny album is on the way, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm telling you, you won't be disappointed. You're gonna get a little bit of hip hop, rock, old school R&B, just everything. And you have some deep songs on there. I like the song "How It Feels," the one when you're talking about relationships.
Yeah.
You even got a song, a booty anthem, the booty anthem. So you gotta
We
look.
got a little bit for everybody. Go check that music out when you get a chance. New music on the way, always.
Anything else, any shows, anything, and give us your social media handle so people can check you out.
We working on shows right now. Get tuned, man. When I come to your city, show up, man. On my tags is I am BMW Kenny. For Twitter, well, that's for Twitter and Instagram, and for Triller and TikTok, it's just BMW Kenny alone.
BMW Kenny, this has been wonderful. Thank you so much, and thank you for not giving up, brother. Because now we got some fantastic music from you. How about that?
Wow, let's go. Thank you, appreciate it.
Let's go, and we out of here, guys. See you next time.